Hey guys, so today I thought I would do a voiceover and kind of do this a little bit fast track. It was hard to concentrate and try to talk at the same time, so I just decided, hey, just record it and we'll do a voiceover. So, first time doing this. Hopefully, it goes well. So, I talked on yesterday's video that I was going to go ahead and get the other two stockings done. You can watch my last video. I've come a really long way on the one stocking, and I've got 3 kids, so I need to do 2 more. So what I'm doing is just cutting out the lining piece, actually the base piece of what I'm going to pin everything to. I have decided I want to do a front and a back for all 3 stockings, so I am cutting out all of the rest of the pieces that I need, and I got those cut. Over to the side, you can see my big old scrap pile. I'm going to actually soak these in tea and use those a little bit too. So stay tuned for details on that. So just going to go ahead and get the fronts fixed for now. I did find some really cool stuff today. I went junking, antique shopping, and I found some really good deals on some Christmas fabrics. That is enough for me to be able to use with all 3 stockings to make them cohesive in the back. And then what I thought about is I can just slow stitch over that fabric in the future. But I'm kind of running out of time this year. So I've got my little bin over to my right of my scraps that I had used for the first stocking. And since I want all of these stockings to kind of match, but each one be unique, I'm trying to use some of the same pieces of fabric that I used in that first one. So I'm just laying them out and kind of looking and seeing what looks good. I don't know what it is. I've always loved doing collage work, whether it's with fabric or paper, just to take something and create something new with it. To me, it's peaceful, relaxing. So I don't know why. I've always loved the look of torn ends. So I always just do a little snippet in the fabric and then pull it so that those raw edges show. I am a quilter. I know how to sew and quilt. But I just really like the scrappy look for these old stockings. It was really cool today whenever we were in the antique store. It was funny. I was really drawn and found a lot of things that were hand-sewn. Old quilts that somebody had set and hand-sewn. And I guess where that comes from, my great-grandmother, I would go to her house when I was little. And at this point, she was probably in her 80s or 90s. She lived to be in her 90s. But she would sit and she would hand-stitch. And she couldn't hardly see anything. But whenever they were growing up, my grandmother told me that they would sit by the wood stove, and she cooked all during the day because there was, I think, 10 brothers and sisters. And so in the afternoon, once she got through with all of her meals, she would actually sit and hand sew. And my grandmother hated to sew, but my great-grandmother made her. And it's funny because that's ultimately what me and my grandmother did a lot together, was sewing, until she wasn't able to do too much anymore. But just trying to get some of these different scrap pieces. I don't want for them to be exactly alike, so I'm trying to move stuff around. I did actually put that stripe across both of these that I didn't do on the first stocking, but it's all good. I'll make it work. All of these were fabrics. There's nothing new that I'm introducing here that wasn't on the other one. I don't believe. But just trying to get all the places filled out. So what I do is I always make it bigger than the stocking, pin it, sew it in place, and then once it's somewhat stitched in place, I'll come back, flip it over, and cut the extra off. So as long as I can't see that white base, I know I'm good. And of course, in true artist fashion, any tiny little piece that's left, I will use it for something else, because I love my little scrap pieces. Yep, so yeah, almost done. So once I get through with this, what I do is I pin everything down really good, and then I'll take it and sit in front of the TV and kind of stitch it down, and then start doing my decorative stitches once everything is in place, and I go back and trim all that extra off I was talking about. And I'm trying to get this done because I shared in one video I may have a road trip coming up, so I want to be able to work on this while I'm gone. And then now with me finding that fabric today, I can cut all of the backs to kind of be the same, and then I can worry about in future years actually slow stitching the other side of the stocking. But for this year, I'm just going to try to get the front side of it done. I've also ended up having a gift situation going on with a stocking, so I've had to kind of throw that in the mix too. But so fun, all the different fabrics. I did, when I went antique shopping today, I found some really cool seed beads. I found a jar of buttons, some vintage linens. I went today with the intent, if it wasn't like a steal, I wasn't going to get anything. And I found some really good deals. So I'll do another video kind of showing my haul that I've got. But right now I am focused on getting these stockings done. Getting so close. It's amazing how much fun that I've had with the one, and I can't wait to sew on these for the next couple of days. I always wanted to do my boys a stocking, but haven't ever really sit down to do it. I picked out 3 cross-stitch stockings, and I just don't have the patience for all that, so I think this will be fun. I also decided that I found enough of that fabric to be able to do the backs of these stockings all the same, and there is enough of it so that I can do a tree skirt. So I thought, if I get through with all these stockings each year, now I've got a great big tree skirt that I can slow stitch on too during the holidays. I'm very much immerse myself in the season kind of person, whether it's with what I'm stitching or sewing or watching, or I've always kind of been that way. I just love to enjoy the season. This year is really going to be different for me. I've had the hustle and bustle of a busy life for many years, and I'm just done with that. So this year is going to be a lot of slow, intentional living, a lot of taking time to do things that I enjoy, instead of just letting my days of work come home, go to bed because I'm so exhausted. I'm making a lot of changes this year. So I'm so excited that sewing's in here this year. It was really cool because in one of the thrift stores that we went in today, there was an old tea towel, and it has an applique on it, and it says, "Do more of what makes you happy." And I thought, oh, that's going to be perfect for the front of like a slow stitch journal. I've been watching some videos about how to make some book pages where I can stitch a page and kind of put it in the book and be able to reminisce and keep it. But I also love to stitch things that are versatile and useful and all that good stuff. But anyway, just trying to get all these things pinned. I'm really happy with the placement so far. I do end up making a couple adjustments on the other one as I get through pinning it. But for the most part, this is kind of how it's going to be. I did find a really cool towel. You can barely see it over to the left. You can see the seed beads and stuff that I got today over to the left of the screen. But I found a really old towel. It's got Christmas stripes on it, and each one of the stripes have got a different, like one of them has holly, one has it looks like old ribbon candy on it, and I thought that will be perfect to cut apart and use as like ribbon embellishments to add on here. So I will incorporate some of that in all 3 of the stockings. And then I'm waiting on my yo-yo maker to get here so I can make some yo-yos to add on here and some dimension. But so much fun. But this was kind of my day's work today. I'll be anxious to see what I get done recording before tomorrow's video. What I get done stitching before tomorrow's video. That way you can kind of see where I've got. And hopefully tomorrow they will actually look more like stockings. Was really neat. I did see a bunch of old hand stitch stuff in the antique store today. It was really neat. I really took the time to appreciate it. all that good stuff. I'll try to share I did take some snippets of some sewing that I seen today. I'll try to share that in tomorrow's video. The end of today's video, we went and seen a light show near us, and it's a drive-through light show. It's been going on for many years. People come from all over to see it. So I done some little snippets so you could kind of see. So at the end of the video, if you can't do flashing lights, just know there's some flashing lights coming. I do put a divider after I'm done with this that kind of warns you that part's coming up, but it's really neat. You turned your radio to a certain station and the lights worked in unison with that. So I thought you guys might like to see it. Yeah, so I'm just going to kind of peace out for the day, let you watch this pinning process. I thought you may want to see it. I know I learned so much from watching other people craft, and to some folks this may be like second nature. You know what I'm talking about, you know how to do it, but I thought for folks who may not have ever done anything scrappy like this before, it may be kind of cool to see how the process goes. So hopefully this will be helpful to you in some way. And then once I do get this last one pinned, I'll turn it around so you can actually see both of them. And this one, it's funny because I took the picture of it. I'm going to post it over on my social media, but I thought it don't even look like a stocking at all. But I promise it will. Once I get all this stuff stitched down and I trim it up, it'll make more sense, I promise. Well, guys, I'm going to quit talking for the day and just kind of let you chill out here and watch this. And then stay tuned if you want to see those cool Christmas lights at the end. I hope you guys will come back tomorrow to see kind of where I get these stockings. Have become a very fun part of this holiday season. The boys actually have been coming. They know that I'm making them. They have sit today and watched me cut some of this stuff out and watched me pin it. It's kind of been cool. They just pop in and talk for a little bit, and we have watched several movies, and they asked me, what are you sewing now? Whose stocking are you sewing on? And I was like, I've only been working on the one kids at this point, but whenever they seen today that I was cutting these pieces and getting the other ones done, they got really excited. So I've got 3 boys, and so they don't appreciate a lot of the girly memory stuff, but I thought if I'm ever gone from this world, I hope they will appreciate those stockings and pull them out each year and remember how much I love them and I made it for them and all that sentimental mommy stuff. But anyway. All right, guys, I will see you tomorrow. Hope you have a good evening.
She's what?